Today we will start our fourth chapter, that is metals and non-metals. Good morning, students. When we look around us, we see a large number of materials or things like chair, table, shirt, spoon in outside, car, train, etc. All these materials are of different shape, size and texture. We know that anything which occupies space and have mass, means weight, is called matter. We can divide matter into pure substances, means elements and compounds, and mixtures. Elements can again classify into metals and non-metals. Depending upon their characteristic, their physical and chemical properties, they can differentiate from each other. Let's try to understand physical properties of metals and non-metals. One is luster. All the metals are pure in state, having shiny surface. This property is known as metallic luster. Non-metals, on the other hand, are dull and they do not have luster. The next is hardness. Try to cut out iron from the knife. Isn't it very difficult? Why? Because metals are hard in nature. Now try to cut rubber with a knife. It must be very easy. Thus, the non-metals are soft in nature. Next property is malleability. Let's perform an activity. Take nail, coal piece of thick aluminum wire, pencil lead, etc. Beat each of them with hammer. What do you observe? You observe that iron nail and the aluminum wire change their shape, but coal piece and the pencil lead break into the small pieces. Harder we beat, greater is the change of shape. Thus, metals of beaten change their shape and form their shades on beating. This property is known as malleability. Now the next property is ductility. Ductility of the metal, it is an interesting property, is ability to form thin wires. It is called as ductility. With this property, you can see the wires of aluminum, copper and iron. But the non-metals do not show this property. Next property is sonority. The property of producing sound is known as sonority. When the substance struck by the hard substance is called sonority. Metals are the sonorous, but non-metals are not. Next property is conduction of heat. One end of iron rod is heated, then we feel rise in temperature, and other end also. This means that metals conduct heat and non-metals do not conduct heat. Next property is conduction of electricity. Let's perform an activity. Connect circuit as shown and check if the bulb light or not. Repeat the same for the other materials as iron nail, sulfur, copper wire. Observation: that material like iron nail is a good conductor as well as sulfur is a bad conductor. Coal piece is a bad conductor. Copper wire is a good conductor. From this activity, we can observe that we conclude that metals are the good conductor of electricity, but the non-metals are bad conductor of electricity. Now we will learn chemical properties of metals. Now we discuss about reaction of metals with different elements like oxygen, water, acid and bases. First we discuss reaction of metals with oxygen. When metals react with oxygen, they form basic metal oxide. Do you know that during the rusting, iron react with oxygen in the presence of air and water. It forms iron oxide. This iron oxide means rust. Similarly, when magnesium ribbon is burnt in the presence of oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. The ash is formed during this process. When this ash is dissolved in water and tested with red and blue litmus paper, you will find out that red litmus paper turns to blue. This is because magnesium oxide formed is basic in nature, so we conclude that metals react with oxygen to form basic metal oxides. Reaction of metal with water. Metals react with water to form basic oxide. Let's understand with the help of activity. Take 250 ml beaker. Fill half of it with water. Now carefully cut a small piece of sodium metal. Dry it very well by using filter paper and wrap it with small piece of cotton. Put the wrapped sodium piece with cotton into the beaker and observe it carefully. You observe that sodium reacts with water. During the observation, keep away from the beaker. When the reaction is stopped, touch it. What do you feel? You feel that beaker is hot. This is because reaction is exothermic, means heat is released, hence heat is evolved. Taste the solution with red and blue litmus paper. You will find out that what the solution turns red litmus paper blue. This is because when metal like sodium react with water, it forms sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide basic in nature, so red litmus paper turn to blue. Thus we can say that metals like sodium react with water to form metal oxide with heat. So you are ready to give the answer why sodium is kept in kerosene. Sodium is metal. It is very reactive. It reacts with water and oxygen. This reaction is exothermic and lots of heat is evolved. But sodium does not. But sodium does not react with kerosene. So that's why it is stored in a kerosene. Reaction of metals with acid. When metals react with acid, hydrogen gas is formed. Let's understand. Take a test tube and a beaker. Pour 5 ml of dilute sulfuric acid into it and 20 ml of soap solution into the beaker. Now add some pieces of zinc into the test tube. What do you observe? You will see the bubbles in the test tube. Now allow the bubbles to pass into the soap solution kept in a beaker. Bring a matchstick near the mouth of a beaker and listen carefully. Here, a pop sound is occurred. What does pop sound indicate? The pop sound indicate the presence of hydrogen gas. Here, zinc metal react with dilute sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. Thus, we can say that metals react with acid to form hydrogen gas. Fourth, reaction of metals with base. When the metals react with bases, hydrogen gas is produced. This can be proved by performing an activity. Prepare a fresh solution of sodium hydroxide in a test tube. Drop a piece of aluminum foil into it. Bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of test tube. Now listen carefully. You will hear pop-up sound. What does pop sound indicates? The pop sound indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. Here, aluminum metal is react with sodium hydroxide base. It forms sodium aluminate and hydrogen gas. At last, we conclude that metals react with base to produce hydrogen gas. What's about nonmetals? Most of the nonmetals do not react with water, but only the phosphorus vigorously react with air, so it is stored under the water. Now how the nonmetals react with oxygen? We can check it by burning a nonmetal like sulfur. Take some sulfur powder in deflagrating spoon. A deflagrating spoon is a spoon with a long vertical handle. Deflagration means heating something till it burns quickly. When you heat sulfur is burned quickly, put the spoon in a jar, cover it so that's why you catch the gas that comes from it. After some time, remove a spoon from the jar and add some water to the jar and shake it well. That's why gas dissolves in the water, then check it with litmus paper. You find out that solution turns blue, litmus paper red. So it is acidic in nature. So oxides of non-metal are generally acidic. What happens when you burn the sulfur? It forms sulfur dioxide, S plus O2, that gives SO2. When we mix with water, it forms sulfurous acid, SO2 plus H2O, that gives H2SO3. Non-metals do not react with acid as well as non-metals do not react with bases. Thank you and have a nice day.